Good morning, my fellow yoga travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. It's Monday, so it's Poetry Day. Let's get right into it from Hafiz, the Persian Shakespeare. I Want Both of Us is the name of the poem. I want both of us to start talking about this great love as if you, I, and the sun were all married and living in a tiny room, helping each other to cook, do the wash, weave and sew, care for our beautiful animals. We all leave each morning to labor on earth's field. No one does not lift a great pack. I want both of us to start singing like two traveling minstrels about this extraordinary existence we share, as if you, I, and God were all married and living in a tiny room. And you better get used to it so you don't get claustrophobic. All right, my journaling friends, write it down, elevate the conversation, or just psychologically muse on it, and then get back to me. You let me know what's your answer. I'll tell you what's going on for me. How are you deserving of love? Yeah, everybody's deserving of love. Don't be shy. How are you deserving of love? You have so many wonderful, admirable qualities. Even your pain, the poignancy of your predicament is another reason why you deserve love as well. So wax eloquent. Don't think you don't have any clout. You are lovable and love-worthy. So you let me know. I'll tell you how I think about it as well. Now, my teacher, BKS Iyengar, I always start by saying, yoga is the consummation of all human faculties. You analyze, you experiment, you experience in yoga through so many categories of study, life. And that's what's going to expel your doubts. The realization of this casts all doubt aside. It's a science, a systematized body of knowledge that comes from the facts of experimentation. It's an art form. Skill to do comes in the doing, and it teaches you how to be skillful in anything you're doing as a result of your practice, which gives you knowledge, and you display it in ethical behavior in your daily life. Now, this week or two, I'm going to be going over Clarissa Pinkola Estes' psychological interpretation of The Ugly Duckling by Hans Christian Andersen. You know, it's about a duck that doesn't realize it's really a swan. It has to find its own tribe. So at the beginning, it's an outcast. Its wild nature has been pressed into circumstances where there's little nurturance, but it has the instinct to survive no matter what. So the first thing is to realize the heartbroken quality of being rejected by one's own. And each one of us may have a feeling, and you know, the heart that's broken is the only heart worth having, the broken heart. We all experience some kind of abandonment, some sense of like being orphaned, left out, thrown away, kicked to the curb, as we say. But the instinct to survive overall keeps us going. We'll talk about that more as the week goes on. Now, when it comes to critiquing patriarchy, and certainly there has to be a radical critique about the roots of masculinity and what aspect of abuse and incorrect use of aggression, as if it's divorced men from love, gentleness, kindness. But that doesn't only come from the feminine side. It's because immature boy bullies, as I would say, uninitiated men, stunted in their masculine growth, you have to assume something is missing, which is the adequate connection to the deeper, wiser, protective, loving, nurturing aspect of male energy. So critique there must be, but we also have to be wise enough not to continue to further the wounds of an already besieged authentic masculinity. Some people don't know there's an authentic masculinity, and if you look, you'll find it, even though there are many other shadow examples of what it's not. But don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Now, Emerson says everyone's life is a solution hieroglyphic to the questions they would put, but it must be lived first as experience before it's apprehended as truth. It's a mouthful, I love to say that. Everyone's conditioning is a solution and hieroglyphic to the questions one would put. You don't understand it yet. But if you live it experience first, then you apprehend it as truth later. So that's what you got to do. And if we split ourselves between, we could say, the inner Apollo and the inner Dionysus, you have these two ways of approaching things. Apollo being the part of you that's like the god of reason, sunlight, the elite, rational clarity, correct form, noble ideals, the patron of the arts, science, medicine, and so forth. And the Dionysian side of yourself that's more romantic, more feminine, more erotic, more passionate, more connected, more celebratory. And these two help you imitate the way of nature, not the things of nature. And you find out you have a rational side that's linear, and you have an irrational side. Not irrational, but rational in a different way. And so the balance of these two can be found in the city, and not just in nature. Can you find it in yourself? I certainly hope so. And that always leads us to the fact that there's a redemptive process about conscious realization of the hidden self. That's what this is all about, bringing out the latent potential that we have. And we can describe it in many different forms. There are many paths to do this. But the idea is that there's more of us, and we can do better than what we're doing. So, if it's true that we demonstrate according to our understanding, and one part of us cannot be satisfied with what we already know, but continues to work for greater realization or more progressive refinement of how we show ourselves. So there's a case to be made, and I intend to make it right now. And why do I do that? In order to assist what I call the bright twinkle. So bring everything in. Nothing is off limits. Nothing is inappropriate in your life. All the upheavals that we experience immediately create a rocket of desire to the opposite. In yoga, they call it pratipraksha bhavana. You go to the opposite. And then if you do that, you will find that, as the Buddha said, work out your salvation with all due diligence. You can have support. The self is the interiorization of community as well. But the tendency is to be the one to give yourself peace. Rely on yourself to give yourself peace. And you'll see how much your world changes. Have a great day.